Hello, everybody. Travis Chafin here for the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show. My name is Travis Chafin, and it is week 3 in Forsyth County football. We are at Forsyth Central, where tonight the Bulldogs fell 48-29 to the Dawson County Tigers. Standing by with us is Bulldogs head coach Chris Bennett. Coach, it was a tough game for the Bulldogs, but there were still some fireworks out there. It was still a fun game to watch.
Yeah, we got to quit having those fun games to watch when we end up on the wrong end of it. I thought some of our young kids grew up a little bit tonight. We a lot of mistakes out there that our inexperience showed a little bit, and it doesn't help when their quarterback Dominique is a pretty good football player. We had our chances tonight, but I thought our kids grew up a little bit tonight.
Dominique, you mentioned, I think you had about 6 touchdowns tonight, and your defense kind of had their hands full with it.
Well, they did, and we saw it on film. We knew it was good, and with a kid like that, you got to keep him off the field. And right there before halftime, we had 2 turnovers in the red zone, and they converted both of those to points. And it was you can't do that against a good guy that plays that well. But I thought our offense kind of found a little bit of an identity tonight. We did some good things, and defensively, we got to get back on the drawing board and get better.
Dawson had struck twice. They were up 14-0. Then Brannigan hooks up with Jeremiah Jones for a touchdown. And then you get the 2-point conversion, go up full within 14-8.
We did, and that was a great ball. Jeremiah's a great athlete, and he made a great catch there. He even got a pass interference call and still called it. And then they gave us something that's the built-in call. Michael made that call on the 2-point conversion. It wasn't a fake; it's built in. So Michael does a good job with that, and then I think we actually went up after that. We came back, was at 15-14 at one point, right, and had the chance to come down to go up again, and Michael threw an interception there and come back down through another interception, and they converted both of those to points, and we can't do that against good people.
I want to talk about Shea Hollis. He had a big 80-yard run, got down to the 15-yard line. Then I think he carries it to the 1, maybe fumbles it into the end zone. Yeah. Kind of tell us about that play.
Well, it was nice to see Shea get going. Shea did well last year and he got hurt, and we've been trying to get him going. We're telling him he's going to go, and I think he had a coming out game tonight. He's a good running back, and he fumbled, and I'm not even sure who recovered it at one point. I thought he was down on there, but one of our offensive linemen, I think D. Kelly, recovered it. That's a lineman's dream, man, when they get a touchdown. And but Shea had a great game tonight. We had a couple of kids, him and Michael Brannigan and Jeremiah. Our offensive line, I thought, grew up a lot tonight. They're very young, but there were some positives.
And of course, you did mention a couple of turnovers. Then kind of looked like you might have had a chance there, and then had the quarterback keeper to later cut the gap to 34-22.
Yeah, again, Michael, we were on the option, and he made the decision. He makes a choice, and he got it in there. And everybody up front's got to do their job. Just too little, too late.
Next week, you've got Sprayberry coming to town. What can we expect in that matchup?
Athletes. We've seen them on film. We've seen them in person. I think they're 0-2. I think they've played some. They may be 0-2. But they're very, very athletic, and they're going to be a spread, kind of just like we saw. I don't know that we'll see another quarterback like Dominique. Hopefully we don't. But Sprayberry's going to be good. They're well coached. Coach Shackelford does a good job with them, and they're going to be athletic, and they're going to be looking for their first win too.
Well, Coach Bennett, we appreciate you having us out here at Forsyth Central tonight, and we wish you the best of luck next week against Sprayberry.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming. You're always welcome. Y'all do a phenomenal job, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Bennett. Take care. There he goes. That is Coach Chris Bennett of the Forsyth Central Bulldogs welcoming us here for the post-game scoreboard show. We're here at the Forsyth Central Fieldhouse, and so happy to be back. Always great to come back to Forsyth Central for game coverage and for the post-game show. Tonight it was the Bulldogs coming up short. Again, that final score, 48-28. Dawson County getting the upper hand. All right. Joining us now on the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show, it is South Forsyth head coach Jeff Arnett as the War Eagles have defeated Cambridge 46-16. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's another big win for the War Eagles, and you guys are 3-0, so congratulations on the win and rolling to that 3-0 start.
Well, it feels great to be 3-0. Kids are excited. The coaches are excited. It's just been a great start to this year.
Yes, sir. Well, just kind of kind of jump in with a report, and who were some of the standouts, and how did you guys start out tonight with the scoring?
We ended up jumping out to a 21-0 start. I think it ended up being 21-3 at halftime. We were able to run the ball pretty well. I think Chanson got a couple of touchdowns. Isaiah Williams got a touchdown. I'm not sure exactly how many, and were they all in the first half, but I know those guys on the ground, Isaiah and Jansen, had good nights. And, we threw the ball a little bit early. We didn't have a lot of great success. They did a good job pressuring us and getting pressure on the quarterback, but we ended up coming out in the third quarter and playing real well, and ended up getting 3 more touchdowns and a field goal. And, it was, like I said, it was just a big win for us.
Absolutely. How about your defense tonight? What were some of the defensive plays that kind of stand out?
Well, defensively, I felt like we ran to the ball well again this week. I feel like that's the third week in a row that we've done a good job running to the football. And, anytime we've got that many kids around the ball, we're doing good things. I don't know. We haven't watched the film. I'm not sure who had some standout or had a standout night for us, but I know we were able to pressure the quarterback well with our outside linebackers, with Mickey and with LaFlame. They did a good job pressuring the quarterback. Also, Brett Larkin did in the middle too. But like I said, I don't know any stats at this time tackle wise.
Yes, sir. Next week, you got a big Forsyth County rivalry matchup as the War Eagles go on the road, and it's going to be our Listen Your Way game of the week. War Eagles at Lambert Longhorns. What can we expect from that matchup?
Well, it's going to be a great atmosphere for a high school football game next week. Both of us coming in 3-0. It's not only a county rival, but it's a region game also. And like I said, both of us being 3-0, I think it's just going to be a great atmosphere to play a game in. I think the place is going to be packed. I think both teams will be ready to go, and it's going to be what high school football is all about next week.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. And I just as a broadcaster, I'm looking forward to it. But as a fan, I'm also looking forward to being there and seeing that matchup next week.
Yeah, we're excited too. Got a lot of work to do before that happens, but we're excited about getting started on Monday.
Coach, congrats on the 3-0 start, and I hope you guys enjoy the weekend. I know you'll have them back at work getting ready for next week, and we'll talk to you next week after the game.
Thank you very much for calling, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. That's Coach Jeff Arnett of the South Forsyth War Eagles, victorious tonight, 46-16 over Cambridge. Next week, that is our Listen Your Way game of the week. War Eagles at the Longhorns. Kickoff is at 7:30 next Friday night. Don't want to miss that one. It's going to be good. A little later in the show, we're going to talk to Lambert Longhorns head coach Sid Maxwell. Joining us now as part of your Marathon West Forsyth game report, it's time to talk to Coach Frank Hepler here on the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show. And Coach Hepler, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Travis. Another fun night in West Forsyth football history here. We got after Stars Mills pretty good.
Well, did you break the scoreboard? It was 63-14. That's I don't know if that's a record or not for the Wolverines, but it's a lot of points on the board.
No, it was a lot of points. Not a record for us, but the kids did a great job tonight. Really proud of them for coming out against an opponent that we didn't know too much about after playing two tough teams with state-ranked Gainesville, and then, of course, always tough Lowry Branch. And got after Stars Mills 63-14. It could have been one of those trap games that, you come into not really knowing much about, and the kids might not give as good effort because they're tired from the 2 weeks previous, but I was proud of the guys that came out, gave a great effort, and put some points on the board and played great defense also.
Joe Schuster was keeping us up to date with score reports, and I saw it was about, I think maybe you were up 49-0 at least before you ever let Stars Mill on the board. Just kind of, I'm not going to ask you to recap the entire scoring effort, but just kind of give us some of the highlights. I know there were a lot.
Well, A.J. Eardley had a great night. He was 13 of 15 for 208 yards. He threw 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
Brian Porter scored 2 touchdowns also, rushing the ball. Had a lot of guys touching the ball. Trevor O'Brien rushed for over 80 yards again. Steve Gallagher, a senior tailback, rushed the ball for about 75 yards. And then Gabe Pierce, a junior running back, ended up rushing the ball for 75 yards. Ty Anderson, our senior tight end, caught 2 touchdown passes, caught 5 balls for 87 yards. So we had an offensive explosion that was good to see, and the kids played hard and worked hard in practice. But now the real football begins with our region play starting up next week.
Absolutely. You're going to be on the road at Alpharetta, and Alpharetta is always a good ball club.
Alpharetta is an excellent football team. They're well coached. They've got great athletes. It's going to be a tough game for us. So we went over there last year and got beat. They took it to us, and I kind of remember that. And as the head coach, I take total blame for that. And I'm going to do everything I can to get my guys ready this week and try to go after Alpharetta.
All right. Well, Coach, I know you're going to have the guys ready, and you'll have them working hard at practice this week. So we'll catch up with you next Friday night and see how it goes.
All right, Travis. Thanks for having me, and look forward to talking to you.
Absolutely, Coach. Best of luck next Friday night at Alpharetta.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too, Coach. That's Coach Frank Hepler joining us here on the Marathon West Forsyth Game Report on the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show. Thanks to Coach Hepler for taking the time to talk with us. It was the Wolverines with a huge 63-14 win, blowing up the scoreboard tonight, 63-14, defeating Stars Mill at home. Joining us now on the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show is North Forsyth Athletic Director Nathan Turner. Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, Travis, thank you for having us. Always a pleasure to be with you guys at Listen Your Way.
Yes, sir. Well, the last score that we had, it was the Raiders up 21-6 over Cherokee tonight. Did that score hold for the final?
Travis, it did. It was actually a 28-12 final. It was a great night in Coal Mountain. Raider Valley was rocking. There was a lot of enthusiasm. The North came out strong. We got a turnover on the first possession, and I was able to capitalize and went 7 plays, and there was a touchdown pass from Harris Roberts to Branson Marks that got us going. And I'll be honest with you, North Forsyth never looked back after that. Cruised out to a 14-0 lead. Then it was 14-6. Cherokee scored middle part of the second quarter, and then we they missed the PAT, and then we got one right before halftime. Tanner Riddle was able to catch a 25-yard touchdown pass from Harris Roberts, pushing it up 21-6 at halftime. Both teams traded touchdowns in the second half. Of course, Cherokee missed the PAT. They went for 2 and didn't get it to get to 12. And Tanner Riddle again had another big touchdown run in the second half. But it was a big night in Coal Mountain.
Wow, I know those fans in Raider Valley really had to be going wild tonight, Coach.
Travis, we did. It was packed. I said, it's a 3-0 start. This is the first time in a long time we can remember, too, and we were talking about it on the field. We call it the Coal Mountain Sweep when your ninth grade, your JV, and your varsity wins, and we've done that 2 weeks in a row. And so that's really special seeing all 3 of our programs do so well early in the season. Hey,
it's a big weekend up there in Raider Valley. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. We're very proud of our ball team. We know we've got some tests and battles ahead of us, and but hey, you only take it 1 week at a time. We'll take tonight and tomorrow and enjoy this one, and we'll get to work next week and go at it in Region 6A against Chattahoochee.
Kind of give us a preview. What can we expect in that matchup against Chattahoochee next week?
I think we're going to have to be fundamentally sound. Chattahoochee's a fine ball team. We got to remember, not long ago, just 2 years ago, they were defending state champion. But you know what? I'll go ahead and tell you. Everybody talks about it. North Forsyth 2-0 lifetime against Chattahoochee and 2 big wins several years ago, back when we were in 5A together. We're going to have to play smart, fundamental football. We can't make mistakes. We're going to have to force Chattahoochee into some situations, so they'll make some mistakes, and we got to capitalize on their mistakes. It's going to be a great football game. It's going to be hard-nosed football, and hey, we're 3-0, and we're tickled to death, and it's time to play some region football.
There you go. Looking forward to it, Coach. Congratulations to all the Raider fans and especially those hardworking kids on the team. Congratulations on going 3-0.
Thank you very much. And I'd just like to shout out to our defense. They played really well, holding Cherokee to 12 points tonight, and the Black Swarm played really hard, flying around, and it's always a good thing to see that in Raider Valley. And shout out to the defense, and our coaching staff's worked really hard with these kids, and everybody's buying in, and hey, we're enjoying a good time right now.
Absolutely. Well, they deserve it, Coach. And we appreciate you joining us here tonight with a report. And we'll talk to you next Friday night. Good luck next week.
We look forward to it. And, again, we thank you guys for listening your way for supporting high school sports here in Forsyth County. And we look forward to talking to you next week after Chattahoochee.
All right. Thank you, Coach Turner. We'll talk to you then.
Thank you.
That is Coach Nathan Turner, the athletic director at North Forsyth High School, where the Raiders get the big win tonight, 28-12 over Cherokee. They are undefeated in Raider Valley as North Forsyth rolls to a 3-0 season with that win tonight. Again, 28-12 Raiders over Cherokee. Joining us now here on the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show is Lambert Longhorns head coach Sid Maxwell. Coach Maxwell, thanks for joining us tonight.
You're welcome, Travis.
All right. Well, the last update I had the Longhorns beating Northview 45-21. Did that score stand as the final?
It ended up being 55-27.
65-27?
55.
Oh, 55-27.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for that update there, Coach, and congratulations on the win as the Longhorns open it up 3-0 on the year.
Yes, sir. It was a overall team on all phases did well, and it was a good, great job on the coaching staff, and it's nice to get another win.
Yes, sir. Well, I won't ask you to recap every touchdown with 55 points. That's a lot of scoring, but if you can, just kind of mention some of the highlights and some of the guys that really stepped it up tonight.
I'll be honest with you. We got information, Travis, but I knew we had 2 or 3 touchdown passes, but other than that, I can't tell you. There was so much scoring going on.
Well, I understand that was a lot.
People,
I'm sure you have to look at the tape.
If you want to call back, give me a few minutes. I can get it for you. We just pulled in. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's okay. I'll just kind of ask you just a couple of questions about as we get ready to kind of review the game and looking forward to next week. What were some of the aspects of the gameplay tonight that you were most pleased as far as execution?
Well, I threw the ball real well tonight. Brock and Chris Lay hooked up numerous times, and we had a couple of touchdown passes dropped that could have been more. So we opened up some. I know we scored a first strike with a pass, right off the bat. And, so it just sort of opened up a running game. And if you can be a little balanced on offense with throwing the ball and run the ball, then obviously you're a little tougher to stop.
Well, next week we've got you locked in for our Listen Your Way game of the week. We're looking forward to coming out to the Longhorns campus for next week's matchup as your Longhorns welcome South Forsyth. What are you going to do this week as you get your guys ready for that to open region play?
Well, I'm sure Coach Arnett will say the same thing. You don't have to do a lot to get the boys ready to play each other. They've grown up together and played on teams together. So obviously it's a natural rivalry from the start. So if anything else, we got to try to keep them calm and keep them focused.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, I appreciate it. I know you just rolled back into town after that game tonight, so we appreciate you joining us here, and
yes,
we'll
sir.
catch up with you next week as we come out there for the game of the week. Appreciate you joining us tonight, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Coach Maxwell. There he is, Coach Sid Maxwell, head coach of the Lambert Longhorns, victorious tonight, 55-27, and we'll be at Lambert High School next week for the big county rivalry and the big region rivalry, too. South Forsyth at Lambert High School. That's going to do it for this edition of the Listen Your Way post-game scoreboard show. I'd like to thank all the coaches that we had on the show tonight for being a part of it, and all the folks during the games that reported scores for us, and producer Tom back at Network Controls. Until next week, my name is Travis Chafin, and we'll see you next Friday night, 7:30, War Eagles at the Longhorns, 7:30 on ListenYourWay.com. So long, everybody.